Acha. So for these kind of papers, what I was saying that you please see the paper, and in the first minute only you prepare a plan for yourself according to the paper. What will be your plan? That since one page or more than one page long case study is there, that means you need to understand the entire paper in just one go. The questions are very lengthy, very bulky. You'll have to the focus, the improved focus should be on understanding, because the moment you read it twice, one paragraph twice, that means the link will be broken and you wasted just 2 to 3 minutes for one question, which should not be done. All right. So how to do that? In that case, you summarize. While reading, you summarize also in the mind. All right. So look at this. Prabhat was working as a vice president marketing at Sterling Electric Limited, a reputed multinational company. Okay. But the presently company was passing through a difficult times as the sales were continuously showing downward in the last 2 quarters. His division, which hitherto has been a major revenue contributor to the company's financial health, was now desperately trying to procure some big government order for him. But their best efforts did not yield any positive success or breakthrough. All right. So this is Prabhat. This is Sterling Electric Limited. Prabhat is looking for what? This, the government order, government contract. All right. His was a professional company and his local bosses were under pressure from their London-based head office. So it is a multinational, so it is London-based, to show some positive results. In the last performance review meeting taken by executive director, which is India head, he was reprimanded for his poor performance. He assured them that his division is working on a special contract from Ministry of Defense for a secret installation near Gwalior, and tender is being submitted shortly. So that means the assurance about Ministry of Defense and it will be submitted. He was under extreme pressure and was deeply perturbed. All right. What aggravated the situation was a warning from the top that if deal is not clinched in the favor of the company, his division might have to be closed and he may have to quit the lucrative job. So this is the question on his job security. Along with the performance, he has to performance pressure and along with the job security. All right. So there was another dimension which was causing him deep mental torture, agony. This pertained to his personal precarious financial health. He was a single earner in the family with 2 school college going children and his old ailing mother. All right. The heavy expenditure on education and medical was causing a big strain to his monthly pay packet. So that means family responsibilities. This is the paragraph about family responsibilities. An EMI from housing loan from the bank is unavoidable, and any default would render him liable for severe legal action. All right. So in the above backdrop, he was hoping for some miracle to happen, and there was a sudden turn. So this is an entirely different incident, sudden turn of event. His secretary informed that a gentleman named Subhas Burma wanted to see him as he was interested in the position of manager, which was to be filled by him in the company. So Mr. Subhas Burma came up. He brought to his notice that his CV has been received through the office of Ministry of Defense. All right. So Ministry of Defense has already acknowledged his CV. During the interview of the candidate Subhas Verma, he found him technically sound. He is technically sound, resourceful and experienced marketeer. He seemed to be well conversant with tendering procedures and having a knack of follow-up and liaising in this regard. Prabhat felt that he was better choice than rest of the candidates who were recently interviewed by him in the last few decades. That means what? This Subhas Verma is what? Efficient. This is talking about efficiency. Subhas Verma also indicated that he was in a possession of copies of the bid documents that Unique Electricals Limited. So that was a Sterling. This is Unique. All right. Would be submitting the next day to the Defense Ministry for their tender. He offered to hand over those documents subject to his employment in the company on suitable terms and conditions. could outbid their rival company and get the bid and hefty defense ministry order. He indicated that it will be a win-win situation for both him and his company. So this Unique Electric Limited, he has got some of the the bid paper he is already having. So he is saying, okay, you give me the job and I will help you. Win-win. So Prabhat was, that means what? This is the issue of collusive. He offered for what? Collusive corruption. All right. Prabhat was absolutely stunned. All right. So it was a mixed feeling of shock and thrill. He was uncomfortable and perspiring. If accepted, all his problems would vanish instantly and he may be rewarded for securing the much awaited tender and thereby boosting company sales and financial health. He was in a fix as to the future course of action. He was wonderstruck at the guts of Subhas Verma, at the guts of in having surreptitiously removing his own company paper. So that was his own previous company paper. Subhas Verma, previous company paper. Offering the rival company for a job. Being an experienced person, he was examining the pros and cons with the proposal of the situation. He asked him to come to the next day. He asked him to come to the next day. Look at this. So do you have the courage? Do you have the guts or time to read it once again? So that's why these things which I have written here is going to help. Now I can explain you with respect to this, that Prabhat is struggling looking for government contract because the company's finances are very bad, and now he has assured in the last meeting that a Ministry of Defense contract is there. All right, he has he was threatened with to remove that. His financial condition is also not very good because of his family responsibility and house loan EMI. All right, and in the incident somehow the Subhas Verma came and Subhas Verma started offering him. He was very efficient but very cunning. He offered his own previous company bidding paper for getting the contract. So he suggested a win-win situation. This is a win-win situation for both of them. All right, and in that he was in the shock and surprise, and he is trying to. Did you understand the crux and summary? All right, I explain it to you, but this thing you have to understand just after reading that. Discuss the ethical issues involved in this case. So you'll say first write down the introduction. So look at this. How many questions? 3 questions, 20 marks, 250 words. So discuss the ethical issues. So present case indicates towards a situation where or which indicates where you say where Subhas Verma or you do not mention the name in the beginning. Present case indicates towards a situation where the pressure on employees is indicating is forcing them to take the what? The unethical or immoral conduct, immoral action. Ethical issues involved in this case. So then you will be writing ethical issues involved in this case, ethical issues with respect to Mr. Prabhat Kumar, and ethical issues with respect to Subhas Verma. All right. So ethical issues with respect to Mr. Prabhat Kumar will be what? The responsibility for family versus responsibility for organization. Responsibility for family versus responsibility for organization. So dilemma issues are same. What is the difference? All right. And then you'll have to talk about that external pressure on Prabhat Kumar. External pressure and you say external pressure. There are three things which are involved here. Number one is external pressure. External pressure, the lucrative offer and moral decision making and morality. All these three will be at the question. So external pressure from the loan EMI, financial pressure basically, from the family side and from the departmental side, external pressure, lucrative offer from Subhas Verma side, and morality for upholding the just thing. All right. So these are the two ethical issues with respect to what? Mr. Prabhat Kumar. You can say about that. Right, like that also versus objectivity. All right. And then you will talk about that what? Organizational value or organizational performance. Organizational, because what is the organizational need to get the government contract? All right. Organizational performance or efficiency versus what? Personal integrity or personal morality. So that will be the second case. And then ethical issues with respect to what? Subhas Verma. So Subhas Verma ethical issues will be what? The issue of integrity. Means he was not loyal for his previous organization. How he can integrity. All right. The offense which is committed. This is what? This is a kind of offense going against the organizational ethos, going against his parent organization, organizational ethos. All right. And then attempt to what? Hamper the work culture or attempt to degrade the work culture in this Sterling Electronics Limited. All right. So options available to Prabhat in the above situation. What are the options available to Prabhat? Number one, options available. Number one, consulting the senior regarding this particular situation. Consulting the senior regarding this particular situation. Persuading the persuading Mr. Prabhat Verma for not Prabhat Verma, Subhas Verma for being moral and just. So second option is this, and third option is what? Third option is non-employing this Prabhat Verma. And in the ethical issues, you can also write one issue is the blackmailing by Subhas Verma to Prabhat Kumar. Okay, with respect to Prabhat Kumar. So critical examination first will be consulting senior, critical experience departmental obligation. Experience will be there. Senior's experience will be counted. Departmental obligations will be there. All right. And negative will be what? Negative of that will be time consuming. That is not the guarantee of the morality which can prevail. You may consult your senior, but the person who is so influential, he had got the contract from Ministry of Defense, he can influence your senior also. All right. So that is not the guarantee. So that is for with respect to the senior. And then second one is what? Persuading Mr. Burma, Subhas Burma, for being moral. So this the pro for this will be what? It is a what? Win-win situation by upholding morality. Win-win situation by upholding morality, creating an ethical ecosystem. All right, creating an ethical ecosystem. All right. And negative will be what? This is not a guarantee. This is not a guarantee for the justice or guarantee for the morality. Negative will be what? That can backfire. All right. With respect to the Prabhat Verma, and he might not be interested in the job, and the contract might gone from this person's thing. All right. And third will be what? Third will be non-employing while being very smart or very smartly seeing the contract. Very smartly seeing the contract of Mr. what? Burma, Mr. Burma, seeing the bid of Mr. Burma and using it for the benefit of his own company. Using it for the benefit of his own company. All right. So what will be the positives of it? Positive will be what? The work culture of morality will be there. All right. Why? Because Subhas Verma, who tried to infiltrate the work culture with respect to what? Corruption, is now out. So work culture of morality. All right. The principle that one rotten egg can can create the smell or can disturb all the eggs in the basket. All right. All right. And third positive will be what? Third positive for this will be it will help in what? It will help in gaining the contract for the organization. Gaining the contract for the organization. At personal level, you have seen that, but you are going to use that against that. So again, negative will be, what will be the negative of that? What will be negative? Because it has to be critically examined. So negative will be, number one, first negative is that is not completely moral. It is a question on complete morality. Complete morality is not there. All right. And then negative will be what? The second negative will be why? Because at personal level you have misused that thing. The questions on integrity of Prabhat Kumar. So this is how you have written this. Then which option? Before writing which option would be the most appropriate for Prabhat and why? So you'll have to write the fourth option. Fourth option will be what? Creating a multi-stakeholder approach for taking up this decision. While engaging seniors, while engaging Prabhat Verma, seniors engaging or this Subhas Verma should be brought, Mr. Verma should be brought on a single platform, and on the basis of discussions, one decision should be taken. All right. One decision should be taken. All right. So what is the the pro of this? What is the pro of this? Pro will be multi-stakeholder approach, consultative or coordinative approach. This is pro. And negative will be what? Shifting away your responsibility to appoint somebody. This was your responsibility to appoint somebody, but you created a committee, you engaged your seniors, so that means you shifted your responsibility to somebody else. You escaped that responsibility. Are you understanding my point? But which one you are going to choose and why? The option number C. So you are going to choose what? D, last one. Last one has been created like that you are going to choose the last one. All right. So last one, or you can also say that a course of action should be followed. All right. All right. So last one should be chosen. Why last one? Because number one, in line of departmental, because it has this Y option. So in line of departmental, hierarchy or departmental conduct, this will be a win-win situation for organization. All right. Why? Because here the personal goal of Mr. Prabhat, personal goals of Mr. Prabhat, he will not be compromising the personal ethics also, personal integrity also, and at the same time he can have a check on the what? On the decisions taken in the committee, in the group. And then the next is what? This is a kind of leadership role which is played by Mr. Prabhat. Why? Because he brought everybody at the same platform, single platform, and then attempted to take the right decision. All right. So then conclusion. What will be the conclusion? Conclusion. Decision taken by Mr. Prabhat in such situation. Decision taken by Mr. Prabhat in such situation will be acting as standard operating procedure. Will be acting at standard operating procedure for any other such situations which are happening in future. So this is the conclusion. Clear? Done? Done? Do you have any problem? Next question. Look at this. Ramesh is posted to the capital of a border state after rendering 20 years of service. He is a state civil services officer who got opportunity to getting posted at the capital of the border state. After having 20 years of service, Ramesh's mother has recently been detected cancer and has been admitted in leading cancer hospital in the city. His two adolescent children has also got admission in one of the best public schools of the town. After settling down in his appointment as the director of Home Department of the state, all right, Ramesh got confidential report through intelligence sources that illegal migrants are infiltrating from the state through neighboring countries. He decided personally carry out the surprise check to the border posts along with his Home Department team. To his surprise, he caught red-handed two families of 12 members infiltrated. With the convenience of the security personnel at the border post, on further inquiry and investigation, it was found that after the migrants from the neighboring country infiltrate, their documentation like Aadhaar card, Ration card, and voter card are also forged, and they are made to settle down in a particular area of the state. Ramesh prepared a detailed and comprehensive report and submitted to Additional Secretary of the state. However, he was summoned by Additional Home Secretary after a week and was instructed to withdraw the report. Additional Home Secretary informed Ramesh that the report submitted by him has not been appreciated by the higher authorities. He further cautioned him that if he fails to withdraw the confidential report, he will not only be posted out from the prestigious appointment from the state capital, but his further promotion, which is due in future, will also get jeopardy. All right. So there are 5 questions, 20 marks. So summary of this will be what? Ramesh PCS officer hai na? And he has got his family problems with respect to this mother and all. All right, mother and the daughters which are there. Then at the same time, there will be, he will be posted in, let's say somewhere near Meghalaya, that is bordering state, or Assam. He'll say Assam is posted, infiltration from the Bangladesh, which is happening. All right. And when he went there, he realized that documents are forged. There is a organized nexus, organized corruption which is there. There's a corruption wheel which is present in that region. All right. So there is a corruption wheel, and they are being settled at that place. So he created a report. He prepared a report and submitted to additional secretary. And now top authorities are also, because it is in the nexus, so top authorities are also asking him to remove the what? Remove this, the draft which he had submitted. All right. So and otherwise he is threatened with something. All right, that he will be posted out of this, and financial promotion and the financial aspects will not be given to him. So what? Look at this. What are the options available to Ramesh as a director of Home Department of the bordering state? All right. What options should Ramesh adopt and why? Critically evaluate each of the options. What are the ethical dilemmas being faced by Ramesh? What policy measures would you suggest to combat the menace of infiltration of illegal migrants from the neighboring country? So basically in this situation, look at this. 1, 2, 3. These 3 questions are actually the one question only, and this is a separate question and this is a separate question. So you can write the present case study in the introduction. The present case study indicates towards the organized corruption present in the region which is creating illegal infiltration, and also creating illegal infiltration, and also creating the threats for internal security. Or it is not given the threats for internal security, it has not been correlated, but you can write which can be leading to multiple problems, Options available to Ramesh as a director of Home Department of bordering state. Options available to Ramesh. What are the options available to Ramesh? Since he has created a report and submitted, and then his seniors are not supporting, from the higher official, the order is coming not to not to support him but against him. So what he should be doing? He should look for the people who are in support of the view of which Ramesh, so looking for the people who are having similar views as Ramesh, and do the collective bargaining. Number 1, and do the collective bargaining. All right. And then there will be what? There will be second option. Second option is what? Second option is whistleblowing. Whistleblowing against his own organization about the ongoing situation, ongoing condition. So whistleblowing. You can put it in the last also. So you can talk about the second option as gathering evidence. He has created the report. So sending the multiple copies of report So that is the whistleblowing only, sending the multiple copies of report at the higher officials. All right, through this will be the whistleblowing. Try to engage local police officials. Local police officials will be under him only. All right. So yes, immediate option would be what? Immediate option would be, or try to engage the police officials for you know catching them red-handed, or conducting the raid in the area, and catching all of them who are settled red-handed. All right, so that this is about the random inspection which we are conducting. All right, fourth option will be what? What is the fourth option? Then going to the media after leaving the job. No, that should not be done. So going to the media, that is the most courageous step. Going to the media after leaving the job if nothing works. If so this is engaging media as a last resort. So which option should Ramesh opt and why? Adopt and why? So here you write that Ramesh should go for a defined course of action, not just one action, but there has to be a course of action, which you can see. Course of action. All right. Starting from random inspection to evidence gathering to informing the seniors, evidence gathering to informing seniors, and then subsequently going to media as a last resort. All right. So why? Arguments for why this option has been taken. All right. So in this option, what is happening? The morality of the Ramesh is upheld till the last, till the end. Morality is given the highest priority by Ramesh. Number one. Integrity in the organization. Or justice in the organization will prevail. This will help in ensuring justice. In the bordering state as well. So in bordering state as well. So that is the justice in the bordering state as well. All right. This will be inspiration. This will act as an inspiration for all other people who are working with honesty and integrity in the organization. So this is the reason why you have given. Critically evaluate each of the options. C. So evaluation of each of the options. C. So option number 1, pro and cons. You have to write like that. Option number 1, pro and cons. Option 1, pro and cons. What will be option 1? What is option 1? Tell me. Talking to seniors. Similar views. So increasing bargain. Pro is increasing bargaining capacity. Increasing bargaining capacity. Raising a collective voice. So increasing bargaining capacity, raising a collective voice. This is pragmatic approach. This is pragmatic approach. Elevating the issue at the organizational level. All right. All right. And negative will be what? Fragmentation in organization. Fragmentation of voices in organization. Negative will be what? There is no guarantee of the what? Right thing. This is time consuming. Time and resource will be diverted in the politics rather than correcting things. Because this is what? The politicization of the issue. This is more like a politicization of the issue. Next is whistleblowing within his own department. All right. So whistleblowing will be so the good thing about whistleblowing is what? The upholding the morality. Number 1, upholding morality at any cost. Number 2 is what? This this will be what? This will be setting the example. Setting the example. All right. Or ensuring justice. Ensuring justice in the ecosystem. Ensuring justice in the ecosystem. All right. If we talk about the negative of it, it is against departmental ethos or organizational ethos. All right. Or organizational values, organizational hierarchy. It is against the organizational conduct. All right. Will set a wrong precedent in the organization. It might set a wrong precedent in the organization. Why? Everybody on every occasion will attempt to go as a whistleblower. All right. All right. And then fourth. So fourth will be what? Fourth will be the pragmatic approach. Pro will be what? Pro pragmatic approach, corrective justice, because the problem has been conducted. So this is the tool for corrective justice. All right. Or rule of law, going through rule of law. All right. Negative will be what? Can create law and order situation, chaos, can create a general chaos in the ecosystem. All right. And can can bring the threats, the other threats in the region. All right. And then next, going to media after leaving the job. All right. So here you will be saying that the pro will be what? Upholding morality, honesty and integrity, justice in ecosystem. That is the pro. Negative will be what? Escaping the responsibility, against the departmental ethos, or the image of the department of the organization will be what? Tarnished badly. All right. So this is how you are critically evaluated each of the options. That's why isme, when you are writing that in the beginning only, when you are talking about the corruption, you will be creating a corruption wheel here. You know how to create a corruption wheel. Array, you know that who will be placed at the center? Bureaucrats. Bureaucrats. Other side you will have migrants. Other side you will have a politician, and other side you will have the citizen. All right. So bureaucrat, politician, you will have the crony capitalism or nexus. Bureaucrat, politician, you will have nexus. Bureaucrat, citizen, you will have the what? Coercive and collusive corruption. Citizen, politician, vote bank politics. Do you know this wheel? So will you be able to create that? I have already told you. There you go. Here you'll have bureaucrat. Here you'll have this citizen. Here you'll have a politician. Here you'll have migrants. Migrants. All right. So here, politician, citizen, you'll have vote bank politics. Citizen, migrants, you'll have then, here also you'll have the nexus, corruption, which is there. Politician, migrants. Here also you'll have rent seeking politics and vote bank politics. Bureaucrat, politician. Here you'll have nexus and bureaucrat, citizen. Here you will have what? Collusive and coercive corruption. And bureaucrat, migrants, you will have this. Here also you will have this nexus or crony capitalism. So this is the corruption wheel which is present. All right. So you started with this. And here you'll have the ethical dilemmas faced by Ramesh. What are the ethical dilemmas faced by Ramesh? So ethical dilemmas. Ethical dilemmas. Morality versus organizational pressure. Organizational pressure. Work culture or compromised work culture. Corruption, compromised work culture versus personal integrity. Corruption, compromised work culture versus personal integrity. All right. The personal growth versus departmental pressure. Then you will have emotional intelligence of Mr. Ramesh versus emotional intelligence versus aptitude. Aptitude means the ability to take the decision. Emotional intelligence means ability to manage one's own emotion and emotion with respect to the migrants who are there. All right. So these are so many points which are written. Policy measures should you suggest to combat the minister of infil be what? Policy measures will be with respect to number one, digitalization of the records such as voter card, ration card, for reducing forging, biometric linkages of the records. All right. Community policing for getting the idea. Policy measures will be what? The adequate fencing, technological surveillance should be there at the border area, and bilateral engagement with the neighboring country for reducing infiltration. All right. So conclusion. What will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? Conclusion will be, the decisions taken under such situations. Decisions taken under such situations by Mr. Ramesh Kumar. Mr. Ramesh Kumar will be the trend setter. Will be the trend setter. Will be the trend setter for any such infiltration issues, infiltration related issues in the organization. Clear? So look at this answer. This is a very beautiful answer. Supreme Court has banned mining in Aravalli Hills to stop degradation of the forest cover and maintain ecological balance. All right. However, the stone mining was still prevalent in the border districts of the affected state, and the Supreme Court has banned mining in Aravalli Hills to stop degradation of forest cover and maintain ecological balance. However, stone mining was still prevalent in the border districts of affected state with connivance of certain corrupt forest officials and politicians. Young and dynamic SP, who has recently posted in the affected district, promised to himself to stop this menace. In one of his surprise checks with his team, he found a loaded truck with stone trying to escape in the mining area. He tried to stop the truck, but the truck driver overrun the police officer. It happened. It is a real incident. It happened way back in 2015-16. All right. Officer killing him on the spot, thereafter managed to flee. So killing him on the spot. Look at this. Police filed FIR, but no breakthrough was achieved. Almost 3 months. Ashok, who was the investigative journalist working on a leading TV channel, Sumoto started investigating the case. Within 1 month, Ashok got breakthrough by interacting with local people, stone mining mafia, and government official. He prepared his investigating a story and presented to the CMD of the channel. He exposed in his investigative report the complete nexus of a stone mafia working with the blessing of the corrupt police and civil officials and politicians. The politician who was involved in the mafia was no one else but local MLA who was considered to be very close to the chief minister. After going through the investigative part, CMD, the chief managing director, advised Ashok to drop the idea of making story public, only the relative of the owner of TV channel, but also unofficially 20% share in the channel. The CMD further informed Ashok that his further promotion hike in pay will be taken care of, in addition of the soft loan of 10 lakhs, which he has taken from the TV channel for his son chronic disease, will be suitably adjusted if he hands over the investigative report to them. So present case, here also you can use corruption wheel. So since you have used corruption wheel once, so maximum you have got the liberty to use that idea of corruption wheel one more time. That's all right, in the entire paper. All right. But there you have used corruption wheel with the illegal migrants. Here you present the corruption ecosystem, and here you will have the direct thing, bureaucracy, the politician, the citizen, and then media owner. So that is corporate. All right. And what I have told you, you can use that. All right. So present case study, right. Present case study. Indicates the sad state of levels of corruption. Sad states of level of corruption. Which has resulted into what? Death of young and dynamic SP. Young and dynamic SP. All right. Yet there is a distinctive fight for ensuring justice. All right. And then you'll talk about the corruption ecosystem present. We'll talk about the corruption wheel. Very beautifully you have placed it. Then come to the questions. A, B, C, D, E, 5 questions, 20 marks. What are the options available to Ashok to cope up with the situation? So options available to Ashok. Option number one is what? Is interacting with seniors and collecting the people having the similar opinion to increase the collective effort or increase the bargaining power. This is one of the option. You do not write that Ashok will be corrupt. That is not the option available. That option has to be rejected. So you should not be writing that Ashok will be corrupt and he will bring back that. Second option is what? Use of social media to highlight the issue among the public and to create the public pressure. Use of social media to create the public. And third option, so that will be whistle blowing only. So उसके पहले लिख दो. Second option is persuasion of MLA. Persuasion to MLA about the future image of the MLA and chief managing director, about the future image of the TV channel. More evidence collection. All right. And going to the now this is the time we are writing 4 options only. So out of this, 2 options we have written and 2 options will be for whistleblowing. So use of social media as a third option, and fourth option, going to the police, which it's in investigating report and lodging an FIR against them. At the same time searching for alternate opportunities to support the finances of his family. All right. So these are the options available. Evaluate the options. Evaluate or examine each of the options identified by the Ashok. Option number 1. What is option number 1? So interacting. So again, evaluation will be pros of the option number 1 is the collective bargaining power will be there, and there will be more what? Collective bargaining. So similar value. Unity is strength. The principle is unity is strength. All right. So negative of this will be what? Fragmentation in organization. All right. And then negative will be what? What is the negative? Second negative of that? It will be time consuming and diverting the organization's attention for politicization. All right. Second option, option 2, evaluation, pros. Option 2, what is the option 2? Persuasion. So about the persuasion. So number 1, middle way. The good thing is it is a midway. It is a middle way approach, trying for a win-win situation, a long-term vision, and negative will be what? Persuasion is not the guarantee. Things or the entire ecosystem can turn against Mr. Ramesh Ashok. What is the name? Ashok. All right. And then option number 3. What is that? Whistleblowing using social media. More evidence collection and using the social media to highlight that. So this is a whistleblowing. So in this whistleblowing, what? Number 1, pro is what? The public support, the highlighting the issue at the national level. Highlight of issue at the national level. All right. So public support, highlighting the issue at the national level. All right. And negative will be what? Negative will be against the, it will tarnish the organization, image of organization, against the ethos of organization. All right. And then fourth, what is the fourth option which has to be evaluated quickly? Going to police. And so going to police is what? Rule of law, corrective justice, rule of law, corrective justice. This is the positive. And negative will be what? Negative will be, and positive, one more point is added to that, alternate option. So family responsibility is also the positive thing. Negative is what? Can not just tarnish the image of organization, but can create a lot of enemies against him. It can create a lot of enemies against him. All right. Next question. What are the ethical dilemmas being faced by Ashok? So ethical dilemmas here will be what? Ethical dilemmas will be what? Family responsibility versus, or financing for family responsibilities versus earning finance from the organization. Earning finance from the organization where the work culture is bad. The influence of ministry versus influence of minister versus what? This. Yes, you can talk about the personal morality, duty towards organization versus what? Political interference. Ecosystem of corruption versus honesty and integrity. Ecosystem of corruption versus honesty and integrity. Peaceful upholding of this morality versus courage of conviction. Courage of conviction. All right. So D, there is D. Which of the options do you think would be the most appropriate for Ashok to adopt? Why? So you'll say Ashok must adopt a what? A course of action. And here you will be immediately giving the what? The course of action which is there. First persuasion. After then persuasion to this collective bargaining, and to then the initial whistleblowing in social media, and then going to police. So what is the adopt? Why? The reason for adopting this course of action. So you will say why this is a systematic approach. Morality is upheld. The reasons for adopting this course of action. Morality is upheld. All right. Upholding morality, systematic in nature, scientific in nature. All right. Situation specific decision making will be there, etc. I will talk about the functional leadership. Very good. So in the above scenario, what type of training would you suggest for the police officer posted to such district where the stone mining illegal activities are rampant? So we did not talk about this the police official in the entire case, because the question itself was asking about the Ashok idea. So the one idea is, the justice to the person who is killed, justice to the officer who is killed. This is also one of the very important concern which has to be highlighted. So what type of training should suggest the police officers to posted suggesting to stone mining illegal activities are rampant? So what type of training? Bolo. Combat training, efficiency training, combat training, efficiency training. All right. Guerrilla warfare training, intelligence training. Yes. So technological or training with respect to the state of the art weapons. Community policing training. Training for community policing in those regions, etc. And the training for courage of conviction. Training for courage of conviction. So conclusion is what? The justice should not just be done. Justice should not only be done on the paper, but it should also be done in spirit. Justice should not only be done on the paper, but it should also be done in spirit. All right. So it should also be done in spirit, and the present decisions, the decisions taken by Mr. Ashok, will help in creating an ecosystem, of justice. Ecosystem of justice. All right. So done. Next question. Look at this. You have done MBA from a reputed institution 3 years back and could not get campus placement due to COVID-19 generated recession. However, after a lot of persuasion and series of competitive tests, including written and interview, you managed to get a job in leading shoe company. You have aged parents who are dependent and staying with you. You are recently got married. After getting this decent job, you were allotted inspection section, which is responsible for clearing the final product. In 1 year, you learned your job well and was appreciated for your 5 years in the domestic market. And this year, it is decided even to export to Europe and Gulf countries. All right. However, one large consignment to Europe was rejected by inspecting team due to poor quality was sent back. The top management ordered that EV consignment to be cleared for the domestic market. As a part of inspecting team, you observed the glaring poor quality brought to the knowledge of the team commander. However, the top management advised all the members team to overlook these defects as the management cannot bear such a huge loss. Rest of the team members except you promptly signed and cleared the consignment for the domestic market. So overlooking the glaring defect, you again brought the knowledge of team commander that such assignments, if cleared from the domestic market, will tarnish the image and reputation of the company and will be counterproductive in the long run. However, you were further advised by the top management that if you do not clear the consignment, the company will not hesitate to terminate your service, citing certain innocuous reason. All right. So under the given condition, what are the options available to you as a member of the inspecting team? Everywhere you have the same thing. Critically evaluate each of the options listed by you. Which option would you adopt and why? What are the ethical dilemmas faced by you? What can be the consequence of overlooking observations raised by the inspecting team? So you'll say present case study. Present case study is indicating towards or indicates towards how political interference, not political interference, how this how the seniors interference, or how the hierarchical pressure is pushing and how hierarchical pressure is pushing a person for what? For immoral decisions, immoral decision making. So options available here. What will be the options available here? You know, there is a quote, honest always stands alone. That quote also can be used. This quote is given by the bureaucrat in India. There is a book also, all right, which is written on the name of that, the honest always stands alone. All right, so you can begin with this by C.G. Somaiya. C.G. Somaiya, he is a what? Bureaucrat. S-O-M-I-A-H. So here you'll say that this situation is indicating towards how an honest person is, you know, fighting alone in the ecosystem of what? In the ecosystem of corruption. So options available to you. What are the options available to you? Number one, collecting evidence. Collecting evidence and putting up the persuasion or increasing persuasion effect, effort, increasing persuasion effort to the superior about the long-term interest. All right, here you can also say, you can also categorize these options available into two parts: immediate options and long-term options. All right, so immediate options will be what? Immediate options will be collecting the evidence. Number one, immediate option will be persuasion. So you have written the immediate option, collecting evidence, persuasion. Number two, immediate option will be talking to or this again you will have to write the similar kind of option, that you know, the collective decision making which is there. The people with similar beliefs should come together and take up the decisions. Long term option will be what? Long term option will be creation of a report and sending it to the superior for consideration. Report including pros and cons of the situation and sending it to the superior. All right, and long term option will be what? So you know, so report is there. So under the report only you will say that the separate list of the ethical dilemmas, the concerns should be sent to as a in the report format to the superior, Why? What is the purpose behind that? For creation of a code of ethics. So this is long term option. Critical evaluation. जल्दी दो point फटाफट critical evaluation बताओ. Number one, we have already seen that. Immediate option number one क्या था? Collecting evidence. Persuasion. So persuasion is what? A win-win. Morality upholding. Negative is not a guarantee. All right, can turn up against situation, can turn up against the person. Second is what? Collecting the evidence. So collecting the evidence, preparing for rule of law. All right, justice on the basis of evidence. preparedness for the code of justice, and negative will be what? Diverting the organization's time. Diverting organization's time. Negative will be, next negative will be what? The, you know, immediate collection on evidence will increase the, will hamper the efficiency of the person, will hamper the efficiency, and the person will lack motivation to work in the organization. All right. And next is what? Third option. What is the third option? So corrective decision. What is corrective decision? Collective decision. So collective decision, you'll have the increased bargaining power. Unity is strength. All right. Negative is the, you know, the division of belief in the organization. Division of belief in the organization. All right. And, you know, the value fragmentation of organization. If you talk about the next part, long-term decision making. What is long-term? Bolo. Number one. What is number one? Report creation. So report creation will be what? Time consuming. Sorry, this negative. Negative is time consuming. Time consuming, not the guarantee of action. It is not the guarantee of action. All right. Positive will be what? This evidence based and systematic. Evidence based and systematic approach. Organizational hierarchy, respect to organizational hierarchy. Next is what? Next option. Jaldi बताओ. Superior. Okay, so for code of ethics, bringing code of ethics. So the positive will be what? Positive will be futuristic. Positive will be what? Creating a standard operating procedure. Negative will be what? Again, time consuming. Time consuming. Negative will be what? Not just code of ethics, but the assured implementation matters. Assured implementation matters. The next is, which option would you adopt and why? Which option? We'll say course of action. Course of action. By mixing all the options together. All right. So evidence collection along with persuasion. If persuasion fails, then you are going to have a what? Creation of report and sending it to them. All right. Or consulting the superior, or collective bargaining. And then you will create a flow chart in that. And after that flow chart, you'll say why you are adopting this option. Why? The arguments for why? Because it is the pragmatic approach, systematic approach. The morality is being upheld till the end. Upholding morality. All right. Clear? Am I making sense? Am I making sense? All right. And then next question. What are the ethical dilemmas being faced by you? So ethical dilemmas faced will be what? The job security versus morality. Family responsibility versus job security. Family responsibility and job security versus, or family responsibility and financial security versus unethical practices in organization. All right. And then other ethical ethical dilemmas will be what? The work culture of corruption versus what? The honesty and integrity. Work culture of corruption versus honesty and integrity. Other will be what? With respect to this situation, he'll say that treating foreign market at superior level, or differentiating foreign market as well as domestic market. That bad products can it be provided to domestic market, which is rejected by the foreign market. That's a ethical dilemma. All right. Following the hierarchical order and departmental responsibilities. Versus upholding integrity. So these are ethical dilemmas. What can be the consequence of overlooking? What can be the consequence of overlooking the observations raised by the inspective team? Consequences. So immediate consequence and long-term consequence. Immediate consequence. Immediate consequence will be what? It is bad for domestic market. It is bad for domestic markets. Domestic markets will be less competitive in comparison to the what? Foreign markets. All right. That is immediate. And next is immediate is what? The incentivization of immorality. Incentivization of immorality. Long-term consequence will be what? Long-term consequence. What is? Here you will have the image of the organization. Long-term loss to the organization. Image of the organization. Long-term loss to the organization. The impact upon work culture. Setting a wrong precedent. And wrong aptitude which is there. This is the wrong aptitude. Setting wrong precedent, wrong aptitude. All right. So conclusion. What will be the conclusion? Tell me about the conclusion. Tell me about the conclusion. Conclusion. All right. If every decision maker or if every bureaucrat start giving priority to morality. If every bureaucrat starts giving priority to morality more than everything else, if every bureaucrat start giving priority to morality, everything more than anything else, then like what was the name? Acha, here you are the person. All right. Like in this situation, so then there will be a workplace. There will be a happy workplace. Happy workplace to work in. You can actually write like that. Happy workplace to work in. And thereby a prosperous society to live in. Next question, देखो. Rakesh was working as a joint commissioner in transport department of a city. As a part of his job profile, among others, he was entrusted with the task of overseeing the control and functioning of city transport department. A case of a strike by drivers union of city transport department over the issue of compensation to a driver who died on duty while driving the bus came up before him for decision of the matter. He gathered that the deceased driver was plying bus number 528, which passed through the busy and congested roads in the city. It so happened that near an intersection of the way, there was an accident involving the bus and car driven by the middle-aged man. So it was also found that there was altercation between the driver and the car driver. Heated arguments between them led to fight, and the driver gave him a blow. Lots of passengers had gathered and tried to intervene, but without success. Eventually, both of them were badly injured and profusely bleeding and were taken to the nearby hospital. The driver succumbed to injuries and could not be saved. The middle-aged driver condition was also critical, but after a day, he recovered and was discharged. Recovered and was discharged. Police has immediately come at the spot of accident, and FIR was started by bus driver, and he had resorted to the physical violence. There was exchange of blows between them. All right. So that means the bus driver was more guilty. All right. The city transport department management is considering of not giving any extra compensation to the driver's deceased family. The family is very aggrieved, depressed, and agitated against the discriminatory and non-sympathetic approach of the city transport department management. The bus driver was 52 years of age and was survived by his wife and two school college going daughters. He was the sole earner of the family. The city transport department workers union took up the case, and when found that no favorable response from the management, decided to go on strike. The union demand was twofold. First was full extra compensation as given to other drivers who died on duty, and secondly, employment to one family member. The strike was continued for 10 days and then deadlock remains. All right. Option available to Rakesh to meet the above situation. Examine the option and ethical dilemmas and course of action to diffuse the above situations. All right. All right. So you'll say about that. The present case study. Present case study. In present case study, Rakesh or indicates towards Rakesh. The duty of Rakesh for ensuring justice to the family member of the driver. Ensuring justice to the family member of the driver. All right. And at the same time, ensuring justice to the what? The department, to the cab driver, and showing the aptitude, the right aptitude to tackle the what? The ongoing protests, ongoing strike. Options available to Rakesh to meet the above situations. Options available to Rakesh for our Rakesh to meet the above situations. All right. So option number one is what? Meeting the leaders who are organizing the strike. Meeting the leaders who are organizing the strike. Number one. Number two, meeting the leader and persuading the leaders for stopping the strike. Number two, granting compensation or meeting the demands for of the union leaders. meaning the demand of the strike for granting the compensation as well as granting a job. And then you have to take a option with respect to what? Justice to this the cab driver. All right. So there, what should be there? Or you can talk about the third option, the multi-stakeholders approach. While putting the important leaders, the family members, the cab driver, all of them together for taking a moral decision, for a win-win decision. All right. Next option will be what? Taking the help of seniors in such situations. In multi-stakeholders approach, you can also write about the what? The influencers. So these are the options available. Examinations of each options. Can you do the examination? It can be done, and you are going to do it by yourself. All right. What are the ethical dilemmas faced by Rakesh? Ethical dilemmas. What are the ethical dilemmas? We talk about ethical dilemmas. Number one, compensating for should the family members of the one who is compensated should the family member of guilty be compensated? Number one, this is the ethical dilemma, because bus driver is appearing guilty. All right. In case of compensation, is there any fault of the family members? All right. Is there any fault of the family members? There was no fault of the family members. That is the ethical dilemma. And then third thing is what? The ethical dilemma to ending a strike through aptitude. Ending a strike through aptitude, right aptitude versus what? Emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence with respect to the subordinate. Because the bus driver will be the subordinate to Mr. Rakesh. All right. Peer pressure to Rakesh versus what? Peer pressure to Rakesh versus the morality, honesty and morality. Course of action at the personal level, through emotional this what is called emotional intelligence. Number one, to manage one's own emotional intelligence to manage one's own emotion, number one. And then second, to manage with strike the aptitude, right aptitude, or say before aptitude you will have the right attitude should be there. Right attitude based decision making. What is the right attitude based decision making? The multiple engagements, talks and persuasions should be there. And then third is what? The aptitude. Third is aptitude. What will be aptitude? So ability to get the decisions or ability to resolve. Ability to resolve the situation. All right. And fourth is what? The course of action should be, the partial compensations. The partial compensation should be granted to the family members as they are not guilty of the crime. As they are not guilty of the crime on the basis of compassion. So conclusion. What will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? Conclusion. The present situation, the decisions taken in Rakesh in present situation, the decision taken in by Rakesh in present situation indicates towards a win-win situation for family members of the deceased cab driver and the masses at large. Next question. You are appointed as an officer heading the section in Environment Protection Control Board to ensure compliance and its follow-up. In the region, there was a large number of small and medium industries which has been granted clearance. You learned that these industries provided employment to many migrant workers, and most of the industrial units have got environmental clearance certificate in their possession. The environment clearance seeks to curb industries and projects that supposedly hamper environment and living space in the region, but in practice, most of these units remain to polluting units in several ways like air, water, and soil pollution. As such, local people encountered persistent health problems. It was confirmed that a majority of the industries were violating environmental compliance. All right. You issued notice to all the industrial units to apply for fresh environmental clearance certificate from the competent authority. However, your actions met with hostile response from a section of industrial units, other vested interests, a section of local politicians, and the workers also become very hostile to you as they felt that your action would lead to the closure of these industrial units, and the resultant unemployment will lead to insecurity and uncertainty in their livelihood. Many owners of the industries approached you with the plea that you should not initiate harsh action against them, as it would compel them to close their units and cause huge financial loss. The shortage of their products in the market, this would obviously lead to add to the sufferings of the laborers and the consumers alike. The labor union also sent you representation request against the closure of the units. You simultaneously started receiving threats from unknown corners. All right. You, however, received support from some of your colleagues who advised you to act freely to ensure environmental compliance. Local NGOs also came to your support, and they demanded the closure of polluting industries immediately. What are the options available to you under the given situations? Critically examine the options listed by you. What type of mechanism would you suggest to ensure environmental compliance? What are the ethical dilemmas for exercising your option? So present case indicates towards the development versus environment debate. All right. Where what? Where it is seen that the ongoing developmental process is on the basis of environmental degradation. All right. So there are two groups here, basically. Number one, here you are there, and there are civil society organizations or local NGOs. All right. Your colleagues. All right. And against you will have labor unions and industries. These are against, they are against the closure. All right. So in the introduction only you can segregate that. Here, the entire issue is divided between two groups. the colleagues and NGOs are supporting for the closure of industries. However, labor unions and industries, the union of industries, are going against the closure. So options available to you. So here you can write about options available. Number one, multi-stakeholder approach, by engaging multiple people at one place, all right, and taking up the decision making. Options available to you. Number one. Number two, multi-stakeholder approach. Number two is what? Taking a strict action for what? Closing the environment, closing the industries. Closing the industries. All right. Number two. Number three is what? Giving a moratorium. For some time for getting the environmental clearance. And asking the industries for compensation to the people with what? With the health hazards or health problems. This was the third option. Fourth option, creating a report on the issue and submitting it to the superiors for creation of what? Code of ethics. Examination, critical examination. Can you critically examine pro and cons of each options? Simple. There are 4 or 5 things on which you have to see the pro and cons. Time consumption, cost effectiveness, the morality, the guaranteed morality. All right. And then the diversion of this organizational ethos, departmental hierarchy. All right. All these things has to be considered for 7, 8 options, and 2 points you will have to write about the examination. What type of mechanism would you suggest to ensure environmental compliance? All right. So what is the decision making? Do you remember I have told you several times about this? Did I tell you about this? The environmental Kuhn's curve. All right. So I told you that that not the extreme development, but not the underdevelopment, but there has to be optimum development, or should be there optimum exploitation. And here you will have the what? Sustainable development. So this curve should be drawn here. Okay. Here poor development, here environment exploitation. Here development is more than what? Development overlooking environment. So what is there? Optimum levels of development should be there, and along that you will have the sustainable development. So mechanism would you suggest to ensure environmental compliance? All right. So mechanism, write about the mechanism. What type of mechanism do you suggest? Tell me. Random. So there are 2 types of mechanism. Number 1, persuasive mechanism. Number 2, deterrence mechanism. So persuasive mechanism will be what? The persuasion. Deterrence mechanism will be what? The persuasive mechanism will be persuasion, multi-stakeholder approach, use of influencers for persuasion, for getting the environmental compliance. Deterrence will be strict legal action, penalization, the closing of industries. क्या बोले? बोल के छुपना नहीं है. हाँ? What are the ethical dilemmas faced in exercising your options? So ethical dilemmas will be what? The number 1 ethical dilemma is environmental responsibilities versus developmental responsibilities, duty towards organization, duty towards colleagues versus duty towards what? The society for the development. All right. The aptitude versus emotional intelligence. Aptitude, right? Aptitude versus emotional intelligence. Because if you are emotionally intelligent, you will be very much, listening to the laborers, listening to the industries also. But your right aptitude will say that, okay, let's create a deterrence by closing some of the organizations. All right. How to follow the mid path, or for creation of the standard operating procedure, basis of creation of standard operating procedures in this particular situation. So conclusion, what will be the conclusion? Tell me about the conclusion. Conclusion, managing the situations on the lines of sustainable development. Managing the situation on the lines of sustainable development can help in achieving the target, or sorry, can help in achieving the goals, or can help in creating this society a better place to live in. This is your case study. Look at this. टफ नहीं है, बस क्या है, लेंदी बहुत ज्यादा है. हाँ. नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन देखो. In contemporary world, corporate sector contribution in generating wealth and employment. We are on which question? This 6B. So in contemporary world, corporate sector contribution in generating wealth and employment is increasing. In doing so, they are bringing unprecedented onslaught on climate, environment, sustainability, living conditions of human beings. In this background, do you find corporate social responsibility is, do you find that corporate, so this is the question, look at this. Do you find that corporate social responsibility is efficient and sufficient enough to fulfill the social roles and responsibilities needed in corporate world for which the CSR is mandated, critically examined? So CSR, I have told you 3P. People, planet, and profit, which is there. The corporate social responsibility is working on the principle of trusteeship, and through Companies Act, it has been mandated for 2% mandatory participation of in this corporate social responsibility for a turnover of how much? 1,000 crore and the profit of 500 crores. कुछ याद नहीं है. How do you think that you are going to write? Section 135D of Companies Act. All right. So this much information you have written, but this is not going to give you marks here. Here you have to write ethics. All right. So do you find corporate social responsibility is efficient and sufficient enough to fulfill the social roles and responsibilities needed in corporate world for which CSR is mandated? So critically examined. So argument yes and no. So arguments for CSR. What will be arguments for CSR? That will be what? There will be certain examples like Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, Tata's, Mahindra and Mahindra's. These are doing a very good social corporate social responsibilities. All right. These are the examples you must be writing. And corporate social responsibility will be what? Will be for the long-term benefit. Yes, I'm saying arguments in favor. How this corporate social responsibility is becoming very good. So efficient and sufficient. Why? Because of legal mandate. Efficient, sufficient because of legal mandate. Because of what? Because of the environmental justice, because of the social justice which is brought, because of the focus upon the capability enhancement of the society. All right. The three idea of people, planet, and profit. That is one of the reason. No, why CSR is not justified? Because CSR is sector specific. One particular sector is gaining a lot of CSR, but other sectors like sports are getting very less CSR. Are you understanding my point? So some sectors are getting, for example, education and probably health will be getting more CSR. Education and health are getting more CSR, but what about the sports? Lesser CSR with respect to the sports, and CSR is also done with the profit motive by the organization. So that is the problem. That is a big problem. That profit motives of the organization is also seen in CSR. Misutilization of CSR for tax adjustments. Misutilization of CSR for tax adjustments. Third and fourth will be what? Fourth point will be CSR does not provide the what? Long term. At times it has been observed that CSR does not provide the long term benefit to the community. Long term benefit to the community. All right. So you have written some positives and some negatives of the challenges of CSR. So no defined framework of CSR. It has been mandated, but defined framework of CSR is not there. So that's why there is adequate discretion with respect to CSR. End-to-end monitoring is not there in CSR. So these are the concerns because of which this is not efficient and sufficient. So conclusion: CSR, corporate social responsibility, is a noble step brought for creating a ecosystem of justice or environment of justice, or not environment of justice, environment of morality or environment of trusteeship. All right. So this should be done. Government should multilaterally engage with private sector and civil society organizations for defining this corporate social responsibility in situation specific, context specific framework. Whistleblower who reports corruption and illegal activities, wrongdoing and misconduct to the concerned authorities runs the risk of being exposed to grave danger, physical harm and victimization by the vested interest accused persons and his team. What policy measures would you suggest to strengthen the protection mechanism to safeguard the whistleblower? Safeguard the whistleblower. So you talk about the whistleblowing. इतना थकान क्यों है? Do not be tired. Be energetic. Nahi. This is the policy measures. What is needed for whistleblowing? Yes. Do not ask. Bag mein pain hone laga? Okay, take 5 minutes break. So I'll be waiting here only. Come in 5 minutes. 8:02. I'll exactly start by 8:07. Okay, 8:10. Okay, let's begin now. Let us begin now. So whistleblowers, along with, it is saying that what policy measures do you suggest to strengthen protection mechanism and safeguard the whistleblowers? Policy measures. What are the policy measures? So policy measures will be, number one, to create a dedicated machinery, all right, for protection of whistleblower. So creating dedicated machinery, creation of dedicated mechanism, all right, and rewarding one who is the informant about the harms which are going to be conducted for the whistleblower. So incentivizing the whistleblower protection, all right, incentivization of whistleblower protection. And then you'll have to, that whistleblower charter has to be created in every organization. That means it should be mentioned very clearly on the walls of all the organization that the whistleblower should be protected. All right, the maintaining secrecy about the whistleblower, for creating a dedicated infrastructure, a specific fund to be created, all right, for protection of whistleblower. All right, so all these are there, should be created through the policies, for all these should be created through the policies for protection of whistleblower or safeguarding the whistleblower. All right, then conclusion will be, it is not just the policy which guarantees or ensures protection. It is not just the policy which ensures protection, but it is the social sensitivity along with the policy effectiveness, should be there. Social sensitivity along with policy effectiveness is the assurance for the protection of whistleblower. Clear, eh? Next question, look at this. Write short notes on following in 30 words each. So what do you have to do? Constitutional morality, you know about that. Constitutional morality is nothing but it is the morality or the rightness and wrongness idea given in the constitution. So it is basically the preambular values. What are the preambular values? So this equality of a status and opportunity, liberty, fraternity, equality, justice, social, political, and economics. You'll have unity and integrity, the fraternity, the secularism. All these are the values, the constitutional morality. Conflict of interest, I have told you several times. This is the diagram which can be there. This is public interest, this is private interest, and when this is there, this is public interest and this is private interest. So here what? Conflict of interest reduced. Here conflict of interest is maximum. Probity in public life. I told you about the probity in public life. What is probity in public life? What is probity in public life? Satynishtha. So this is about the morality in public life. It is about the honesty, integrity, following the rule of law, code of conduct, organizational values, integrating personal values with organizational values, having the courtesy, all right, sensitivity, pro people, pro active, and pro policy approach. All these are what? This probity in public life. All right. So all the bureaucratic value, what you see, be it for the efficiency or be it for the compassion or empathy, those will be the probity in public life. Challenges of digitalization. What are the challenges of digitalization? All right. The infrastructural challenges, the awareness challenges, the digital divide in the society, the transitional challenges, that is what? Bureaucratic inertia which is there. So digitalization challenges. 30 words. Devotion to duty. Devotion to duty is what? putting the duty at the topmost priority and focused attention towards performing the duty. So that is what devotion to duty. So Mahatma Gandhi's devotion to duty will be resulting into what? The independence. You can talk about devotion to duty by the E. Sridharan, resulting into Delhi Metro. All right, M. Visvesvaraya was also having this devotion to duty. So all these examples and all you can write. Manage 30 words. All right. This question number 5A. Russia and Ukraine war has been going for the last 7 months. Different countries have taken independent stance and actions keep has impact on different aspects of society, including human tragedy. What are these ethical issues that are crucial to be considered while launching a war and its continuation so far? All right, illustrate with a justification ethical issues involved in the given state of affairs. So number one, ethical issues with while launching a war. All right, ethical issues, the post-war hardship, or the crisis which is which is followed by the war, not just in Ukraine but Russia. Now the sanctions against war on Russia and and Ukraine also. All right, so sanctions, instability in that region, political instability, social instability, vulnerability to women and children. All right, the environmental concerns, the loss of life and property. This is there with respect to the war. All right, war is always a win-lose situation. And in long term, it is a lose-lose situation. All right, continuation of war for long time, and ethical issues. What? The environmental degradation, continuous suffering, the migrants issue, the basic amenities issue. Different section of the societies will be suffering to different sections of the societies. Resource issue, the instability or domino effect in nearby regions. Illustrate with justification the ethical issues involved in the given state of affair. All right, ethical issues in given state of affair. So you talk about ethical issues. What? Ethical issues during the war. Ethical issues with respect to the market, disruptions of the market, trade, disruptions of trade, disruptions of market and trade. एक नाम सुने हो? सुने एक नाम? Mr. Einstein. So what he was doing? Bolo. Huh? He was sitting and the apple fall on him. That was Newton. Failing and trying. Acha. So that was this. What is the name? Thomas Alva Edison. Einstein was, sitting in the street, and there also he was doing his own research. It does not matter whether the fan is running, whether the light is there or it is not there. Your mind should be there. Focus is the key. All right. The dedication, devotion to duty. The UPSC has given this word. What is your duty as a student? Do not laugh. devotion to duty and not dereliction from duty. All right. So once I finish this, then I'll give you the lecture. Okay. So on that, so let me just finish that. All right. So ethical issues in given state of affairs, disruption of market and trade, other ethical issues you can write there, and the education system, the health infrastructure, the environmental pollution, the chaos in the society, the poverty and hunger situation, the threats of epidemics, the post-war hardship, post-war and during war hardship, which is there, rise of extremism. Example is what? Taliban, rise of Taliban because of the war situation in Afghanistan. Yes, power vacuum. Why not political power vacuum which will be created? So all these are what? Ethical issues. You can write about that. So conclusion should be what? World communities should come together and try to collaborate for peace, progress and prosperity. Peace, progress and prosperity. Next question. Online methodology is being used by day-to-day meetings, institutional approval for administration for teaching and learning in education sector. To the extent telemedicine in the health sector is getting popular with the approval of competent at large. Describe and discuss the ethical issues involved in use of online method, particularly with the vulnerable sections of the society. So ethical issues with respect to online sector or online method. Ethical issues with respect to online method. All right. Ethical issues with respect to digital divide. All right. Digital divide. And the most till now also there are a large group of vulnerable sections who are excluded from the online platform, All right. So this exclusion error is making them dependent upon is making them dependent upon the one who is digitally literate. All right. Ethical issues with the vulnerable section of the society, and especially with respect to the telemedicine. All right. So you can also talk about what you can also talk about Bolo. You take up different sections of the society which are vulnerable. So talk about the tribals. Tribal health is what? It's through the tribals' belief in their conventional health mechanism or their own way of health mechanism. All right, bring equality. However, vulnerable section needs what? Specific attention. All right. For digital connectivity also, a basic minimum infrastructure is needed. Do they have the access to this basic minimum infrastructure? What about the levels of satisfaction? The levels of satisfactions which are there in the vulnerable sections after using the online platforms for telemedicine or for any other services. Do we have the level of satisfaction? The same level of satisfaction? Physical visit, physical classes and online classes, same levels of satisfaction? Better satisfaction is where? कुछ लोगों को क्या लगता है कि you can sit, drink tea, not something else. All right. And at the same time you can read. You can also use WhatsApp. There's no accountability mechanism. So, okay. So online method is what the satisfaction, the the how to get the feedback, the poor status of the feedback. It is creating a new faction among the vulnerables. All right, the youthful generation and age-old generation. Age-old generation will have the status quo, the inertia to go online. All right, the connectivity related issues. Connectivity related issues. All right, with respect to the women, women is also what? Again, they are more vulnerable. This vulnerable section, since they are connected on online, so they become more vulnerable towards cyber frauds, cyber crimes, new. The NCRB data has also increased, that has stated that the cyber crimes against the women has increased massively. All right, so more vulnerability. Have you seen that? All right, and then the true human capital, the decline in true social capital, you can say decline in true social capital, with the with the presence of this online, or the coming up of the FOMO culture among the vulnerable sections, fear of missing out culture. देखो कि नहीं, the people who will put that today I am drinking coffee. ठीक है? Why after drinking you people laugh? What do you think drinking means? You can drink coffee, tea also. Take tea, you can take tea, not drink. Drinking does not always mean what you think. Okay, all right. So conclusion, what will be the conclusion? What will be the conclusion? देखो, राजेंद्र नगर में इन सब चीजों से बच के रहिए. It's very deadly, dangerous for your preparation and for your health. ठीक है? All right, चलो. So, government should enable this what do you call this online platform with adequate awareness among the vulnerable section for adequate awareness among the vulnerable section for what? For effective and efficient utilization of this online mode. What do you understand by the term good governance? How far recent initiatives in terms of good governance, e-governance, steps taken by the state have helped the beneficiaries? Discuss with suitable examples. So recent e-governance initiatives will be what? देखो same type of question है. So e-education, e-health, Swayam portal, this Swayam portal is there now, and then you'll have this Pragati scheme for administration, ERTI, all right, EFIR, this is there, e-court initiative is there, all right. So digitalize, direct benefit transfers, all right. So all these are through what? This e-governance steps taken by state. So you will have to talk about first e-governance steps taken by state. All right, and write different in different fields. So create a box of the steps, and then we will be talking about the benefits. All right. So box, in that box you will have what? Direct benefit transfer, e-education, e-health, e-FIR, e-court, land record modernization or digitalization, All right. ERTI, E-Citizen Charter, etc. All these are the initiatives. How far this initiatives in terms of universal step taken by a step has helped the beneficiaries? How far? So it has helped. It has helped. Why? Why? 4A, availability, accessibility, awareness, and affordability. 4A. All right. Faster, transparent. Faster, transparent. The person specific needs, tackling the person's specific needs, situation specific needs. All right. And trustworthiness. This has ensured the trust. All right. And then, no, it has not helped. Why? Why it has not helped? Because of the presence of digital divide, the presence of cyber frauds, cyber security, the concerns which are there, cyber fraud, cyber security concerns, etc. What do you term? Why do you know why the term? Understand why the term good governance? So governance is value neutral, but good governance is value laden. I have told you about that. And good stands for smart, simple, moral, accountable, transparent, and responsive. Yes, it is citizen-centric governance. It is digital era governance. Good governance is this citizen-centric governance. It is efficient governance. Efficiency and effectiveness both is there. Good governance is not just focusing upon the quantity, but it is also focusing upon qualitative aspect of governance. So quantitative and qualitative aspects of governance. All right. So this is how you can write. Next question. Judge your success by what you had to give up in order to get it. All right. How to write? What does it mean to you? This is the question. What does it mean to you? All right. So for the benefits are for the making your career, what you have to give up? Laziness. So bad thing has been given up. Have you given up? Huh? For making your career, you have given up your laziness. No, for making your career, you have taken up hard work. But what you have given up? Mahatma Gandhi became successful because he has given up all his luxury, and he came up to live a simple life. All right. He became the famous leader. APJ Abdul Kalam became the missile man of India and the former president. What he has given up? All that negativity. He lived up to the dreams. So on the basis of that, what does it mean to you? You are going to take it in different dimensions. So I have given two examples. One is Mahatma Gandhi, one is this APJ Abdul Kalam, one is about mental. Take up something which happened in environment. So we talk about, let's say, the sustainable development. The approach of sustainable development will be there if you are giving up the bad attitude towards environment. The good governance will be there. Or good governance or the constitutionalism ideas will be upheld. Constitutional ideas will be upheld when you are giving up what? Your own discretion, or you are giving up your own there's the discretions which are there. Yes, why not? Then you can talk up about certain this Prashant Nair, who has brought this compassionate Kozhikode. What he has given up? What he has given up? So inefficiency. So that's why he achieved that efficiency. All right. So then you will say that it is the negative, the negative things or negative ideas which has been given up or which has been removed in order to move towards morality. The success should be judged on the basis of that. So this is what Dalai Lama has stated. Did you say that? And can you write 7-8 points with respect to that? If a country is to be corruption free, become a nation of difference, their father, mother, and teachers. So how? Father and mother will be the first point of contact of a child. Child will be learning initial values from her mother, and then his father will be giving adequate exposure to him from the world. So as a family, the parents will be shaping the value. The parental care, the sufficient parenting will be very important for overall development of child. All right. So father, mother, and teacher. Role of teacher. क्या है बोलो? कुछ है? So inculcating value. तो लिख लीजिए. So this is directly from your that name. Awareness, knowledge, role of teacher, informed decision making, the right values, the moral conduct, moral behavior which is there. So all these will be the role of teacher. First time you can go out in the world, or every person. I told you a very important thing that day, that for you, what does it mean? For me, it also means for me that you can say, for me, what I am today is because of my teachers. I told you, na? So you can write it here. Why not? Because this is about you. What does this statement mean for you? So your environmental values, your aptitude, your emotional intelligence, your attitude, your the behavior, that is because of your father, mother, and teachers. Clear hai? Clear hai? Next question. देखो, ethics is knowing the difference between what you have the right to do, and what is right to do. Right to do means the choices and the morality. Did we discuss the entire essay upon that? In the essay also, it was the same question was asked, and it is repeated here. So you can take up from the essay. Gandhi ji had the choice also. APJ Abdul Kalam has had the choice, but what he chose to do, what was right, that's why people recognize his contribution, their contribution. All right. So whatever, the choices will always be there. But with respect to the limited knowledge the person has, on the basis of those limited knowledge, the choices are performed, may not be moral, but it may be moral also. It may be moral also. All right. So what should be done? What should be performed? What is right? All right. And not the right to choose. You have right to choose. Yes, you have the right. You have got the right to choose. But what has to be chosen? I have discussed the entire essay on that. You can visit my YouTube channel and essay wala lecture. ठीक है, उसमें the entire essay is discussed upon this. ठीक है. Next question. How many questions are there? 2 questions. देखो. It is believed that adherence to ethics in human action would ensure smooth functioning of an organization or system. If so, what does ethics seek to promote in human life? Very good question. How do ethical values assist in resolution of conflicts faced by him in day-to-day functioning? So what does ethics promote? The idea of righteousness and wrongness right decision making, the integrity in behavior at family life and public life. All right, the prevalence of voice of conscience. Ethics promotes the courage of conviction for the moral behavior. Courage of conviction for the moral behavior. All right. Next is what? Courage of conviction, and then right values set of values, right set of values, right attitude. From your syllabus, you can write everything. Right aptitude, right emotional intelligence. This is all what ethics seeks to promote. Ethical values assist in resolution of conflict faced by him in day-to-day functioning. You know, honesty and integrity. Integrity brings a congruency in behavior. Aptitude is the ability to handle any situation or take the decision in the tough situation. Right attitude will make the person what? Righteous, or will bring righteousness among the person. You can give the examples. Honesty will be what? Will be bringing continuity in family relations as well as in organizational professionalism. Honesty in work will bring success in the personal life as well as in professional life. Leadership, what? Leadership as a value will be what? Will be resolving the conflicts, conflict of interest of oneself at the family level and at the, you know, this professional level. All right. Next question. There go. Rule and regulation provided to all the civil servants are same, yet there is different in difference of performance. Positive-minded officers are able to interpret the rule and regulation in favor of their case and achieve success, whereas negative-minded officers are unable to achieve the goals by interpreting the same rules and regulation against the case. Discuss with illustration. So very, very simple question. These are the people with positive mindset and these are the people with negative mindset. What will be there? Here, you know, whatever you know, the names, Armstrong Pame, or this the person Prasant Nair, I told about Sorochi Sombansi, I told about E. Sridharan, I told about what? This Visvesvaraya, all right, all these. And here negative will be what? You'll have this, the corrupt bureaucrats, corruption, you know, charges, corruption, you know, inefficiency, etc. will be there. Corruption, inefficiency, some of the recently Pooja Singhal was that there? Discuss with illustrations. Can you say that? So despite the challenge, Armstrong Pame created the People's Road. All right. So with these examples and with some of the arguments following these examples, you can write this answer. अरे लिख लोगे कि नहीं? लिखा जाएगा. Apart from intellectual competency and moral qualities, empathy and compassion are some of the other vital attributes that facilitate the civil servants to be more competent in tackling and crucial issues and tackling the critical decisions. So what is it is talking? What is talking? That not just intellectual quotient but emotional quotient. That means what? We are talking about emotional intelligence. Not just head but also heart is important. Look at this. Apart from intellectual competency, moral qualities, empathy and compassion are some of the other vital attributes that facilitate civil servants to be more competent in tackling crucial issues and critical decisions. So suitable illustrations. The best example is what? APJ Abdul Kalam has performed the role of bureaucracy also. So when he has performed the role of bureaucracy, and you will have this what? This empathy and compassion. Intellectual capacity. So intellectual capacity along with empathy and compassion will be what? Bringing the emotional intelligence, managing the relationship within the organization, outside the organization. All right. Bringing a suitable work culture, right aptitude, right development of attitude, right attitude, right aptitude will be there. Some of the important leaders, can you say about specifically? You can give the example of Prashant Nair, Soroji Sombansi. I told you na that he removed the AC from his own cabin to place that in the cabin where the women and children used to wait. All right. So this is what the compassion. The compassion. All right. So suitable illustrations. Can you just write now? You understood that? You will be able to write. Next question. Ajo. Wisdom lies in knowing what to reckon with and what to overlook. An officer being engrossed with periphery, ignoring the core issues before him, is not rare in the bureaucracy. Do you agree that such preoccupation of an administrator leads to the travesty of justice to the cause of effective service delivery and good governance critically evaluate? Did we talk about the core and periphery? Kam se kam 50 baar, 50 times. Did we talk about the core? If you wanted to reform a bureaucrat, if you wanted to reform a bureaucrat, at least you have got the idea. Na? And if you wanted to reform the bureaucrat, you'll have to reform. Ultimate aim is to reform at the core level, not the peripheral level. Peripheral level can only, you can touch the external influence. All the laws, all the policies, all the deterrence mechanism can influence the bureaucrat only at the peripheral level or not at the core level. Do you want me to show this or you believe me? Believe na? Chalo. So this is what? This is core and periphery model. Just a second. Look at this. Here also, this is there. This is core values and this is peripheral values. There are different places. I have discussed about this core values and peripheral values. All right. Core values and peripheral values. This is the notes from the class. All right. So it is saying that, the person who is focusing, who is reforming just only the peripheral values, that means he is only focusing upon what? He is not reforming from inside. All right. And inside reform is needed. That is conscience based reform is needed and not just the external reform. All right. Conscience based reform should be there. So effective service delivery and good governance should be brought by only those who are working with voice of conscience. That is, the core values are very strong. So not just conduct rules should be enforced what? Externally, but code of ethics should be what? Enforced from inside the person, it should come from within the person. So attitudinal change, behavioral change, attitudinal change will be reflected into the behavior, and that will help in bringing this what? Effective service delivery and good governance. So can you write this now? Can you write this now? Give the examples. Whom do you think that the core was pure? Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa, yes. And those who worked on peripheral values, can you give me some examples? The corruption, huh? Yes. So peripheral values, you only talk about the materialistic things. So kya hoga? What will happen? You'll go towards the corruption, inefficiency, maladministration. All right, so this is your paper number 4. This is your paper number 4. I hope you enjoyed the session. All right, of handling essay paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, and paper 4. All right. Probably from first of upcoming this September. All right, we are going to launch the next batch for this mains. All right. So I request all of you to please tell others also who are interested in preparing for mains just before starting the preparation for prelims. All right. And with this, you go and study hard, work really hard, devotion to duty. All right. So only hard work. कैसे थक जाते हो बताओ? थक करके यही अंगड़ाई सबसे आगे बैठ के. What is that? सुनो, कि ड्राइवर जब चला रहे हैं तो ड्राइवर के बगल में बैठ कर करके do you allow somebody who is sleeping in beside you? तो क्या करना चाहिए? थकना चाहिए या फिर नहीं? देखो, I'll tell you, एक बहुत फेमस कहावत है, मन के हारे हार है, मन के जीते जीत. समझ रहे हो? And trust me, if you are psychologically defeated, nobody can help you win. Core values and peripheral values. So first victory is psychological victory. First thing, you are going to be an IAS officer. Psychology. I'm not saying psychologically, it means not that you are going to say everybody that this year I'm going to qualify. That is not psychological. Psychological means it is about the self-confidence. It is about the inner belief. If you have got the inner belief, then only you can, you can work hard in the focused direction. Belief ही नहीं है, खुद पे doubt है, self doubt situation. Do you think that you can work hard? No. So everybody, please focus upon, working really hard for getting the result. All right. Do not forget the result, but get the result. If you are here to do something, if you are playing in this market, if you are staying in this market, if you are having a lot of problems in your room, problems है कि बहुत entertainment है, all the internet facilities and everything is there, so problems are there na. So if you are struggling, you should play to win. It is not to lose, right? I am there, I will always be there. So please work hard. Whenever you face any problem, you can contact me. I'm always there.